Hi, Matthew Holmes here from CHM Strategy. What we're going to be talking about today in this video is we're going to be talking about landing pages and how to make sure that you're going to get the best results from the traffic that you're sending to the pages on your website. Now, we've done some videos where we've talked about remarketing and looked at different aspects about how you can be getting better results from that. And this one kind of follows on from that because it's really the next step in making sure that your ad campaigns are performing as well as what they should be. A lot of people put a lot of effort into advertising their actual campaigns in the platform and they forget about the website itself, and it's such a critically important part. Unfortunately, research shows that you've only got about 5 seconds to convince somebody to stay on your website. And if they don't find a reason that's compelling for them, then there's a very good chance they're going to click the back button and you're going to lose that person. That's clearly not ideal. Hopefully you've got remarketing cookies in place so you can still continue to target to them. But it would be much more efficient and much more elegant if you could maximize the conversions that you get from the page in the first place. So there's a number of things that you really need to make sure that you've got in place in order to do that. The first one that we really look at is what we would refer to as the benefit orientated headline. Now, I would hope that when you're putting together your campaigns that you are making sure that everything that you're putting on your landing pages, everything that is being written in your copy and so on, is very targeted to a particular customer avatar. So really spend some time and think about the people that are in your target audience, and that will vary depending on which segment of the market you're going after. So when you're looking at retirement homes, for example, you're going to have people who are particularly interested from a security point of view. You're going to have people that have fears about are they going to make friends, and are the social interactions going to be any good, or are they going to end up isolated and cut off from all the network that they used to have in their old home or whatever. And so you need to make sure that you understand those aspects, and you need to make sure that when you craft your headlines that you are answering those. So for example, what that would look like on a page is that when somebody comes to the page, first and foremost, you're going to have that benefit orientated headline that's going to answer their concerns and tell them why they should stick around and read more. Now, one big issue that we see is when you look at that on a mobile phone is that quite often, because of elements above it, the headline gets pushed down too low, and as a consequence people never see the headline. They just see this picture and they click back, and that's clearly not ideal for you, and it's not really good for the customer either, because they're not going to learn about the benefits that you can offer them. So really make sure that your headline is nice and clear. If you want to have a pretty picture underneath it, fine, go for it. There's no problem with doing that as long as it's readable and so on. But just be aware that this headline needs to be the primary thing, not necessarily the pretty picture. Okay, so get that headline right. The next thing that you really need to look at is how are people directed on your page. So you can find that people don't like making decisions. Okay, they get confused. They don't really know what the next step is supposed to be for them when they're interacting with your website. So you've really got to make sure that you have clear calls to action on your page. So you may find that putting underneath that benefit orientated headline, you might want to put a button that says, click here now, or inquire now, or find out more, or something like that. And when they click on that button, it opens up a light box where they can put their details in, or you can have the telephone number. Quite possibly you might have both. You'll have the click to call, the button here at the top to inquire more, and then you'll have your telephone number underneath, or vice versa, it doesn't really matter. Other times you may find that putting this button directly underneath the benefit orientated headline is kind of like asking for that kiss on the first date. You may not get it, and you actually may alienate people because you're asking for some commitment too early. So you've got to strike a balance between making these call to action elements higher up and giving people enough information that they feel comfortable about taking action. And you may even want to do both. You may want to put a call to action here and then have a bit more of a blurb, a video that talks about the services and, the things that you've got on offer and so on that people can watch. And then underneath, again, another click to call button where they can actually do it, and then the telephone number. and so on. And you may repeat those calls to action multiple times throughout the page. So one of the big issues that we often see is that people have their form down the bottom here where people can fill out their details and they have the telephone number and maybe an email address that people can click on as well. And it's right down the bottom of the page because the designer has sort of decided that it looks a bit ugly and we don't really want that getting in the way of the pretty stuff higher up the page. But the problem is that depending on your particular pages, it can be as low as sort of 25% of people are getting down to this bottom segment of the page. And so if you're getting only 25% down here, that's not good because only 25% of people have actually seen your conversion elements. And, you know, if they don't see the conversion elements, they can't take action and they can't convert. Okay, so do be aware that you need to have stuff higher up the page and it needs to be engaging and so on and so forth. So hopefully you found that interesting. You can go away, take a look at some of the landing pages that you've got, see if they're up to scratch and, you know, maybe work out some changes you need to make. In a subsequent video, I'm going to talk about some of the tools that you can actually use to improve those conversions. But in the meantime, that sort of gives you a little bit to get started with. If you'd like some advice or some input into your pages, or you want a bit of an audit of your marketing funnel generally, then you know, be sure to submit an inquiry below the video here. If you're watching this on another platform like YouTube or LinkedIn or whatever, just click the link to our video, to our website, and on there's an inquiry form that you can submit, and we'll be in touch. Otherwise, if you'd like to make sure you don't miss out on any of these upcoming videos, at the end of this video on our site, we've got an opt-in. You just pop your name and email address in there, and we'll be sure to send you a notification when any when any new videos become available. So hopefully you found that interesting, and I hope to see you again soon.